good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of LKD Talks. My name is Emmanuel LKD, and let's unplug and be real for a sec. Now, it's been a minute since I did a solo pod, so we're gonna have fun with it. And it's been a while since I've been live on, well, not live, but it's been a while since I've created an LKD Talks episode because one, I've been busy helping out at Next Wave Studios. Shout out that event with the Hey Artists. Went amazing. We had a lot of great live performances and networking and cool people, and it was just a success, major success. So helped out with that. And two, I've been sick, fighting these allergies and this cold. 2 weeks strong, baby. Yeah, woo, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. So I've been dealing with that. I'm getting better. I still got a little bit of a cough. It's more like an itch in a way, but I feel it coming back because the weather is just super up and down lately. But I've been healing, and honestly, I've just been kind of uninspired as well. I haven't really, well, because I've been sick, I haven't really been putting in the work because I trick myself into thinking like, oh, I just need to heal. I just need time to heal. So I'll just chill back, just do nothing, which helped. It did help, but it didn't really do anything for me, if that makes sense. I didn't really fill up my inspirational cup to pour out back, but maybe that's what was necessary for me to heal and get more inspiration to come back to do this. And that's actually not what I wanted to talk about today. I wanted to talk about something else that's been on my mind, and that has been the idea of having no enemies. For those who know me, I love anime. I love shows. There's this quote from the show called Vinland Saga, where the father, his name is Thors, he's talking to his son Thorfinn. And in the context of this scene, Thorfinn is a young boy. This is taking place in Europe, the medieval ages during the Viking era, and Thorfinn wants to grow up to be a Viking. But Thors, he's been a part of the Viking world, and he's come back to live on a farm to grow a family. And he strongly encourages his son that you have no enemies, not a single one. No one ever has any enemies. Just to remind him and reaffirm to him that you have no enemies. Why are you trying to start war or create bloodshed or trying to pick a fight? Like it's senseless, because we really do not, or should I say, we really are the same. All of us are really the same, essentially. We're all just trying to get by. We're all just trying to succeed. We're all just people. We're all have our own complexities, and we're all just trying to do what's best that we can do to survive and live and enjoy life that we have right now. And excuse me, just had to clear my throat. Something that, or this is a quote that pops up in my head when I get into a disagreement or some kind of beef or petty drama with someone, and like, for example, dealing with a customer or dealing with a client, sometimes we won't always see eye to eye, and there might be some kind of major outburst here and there, and it's so hard for me to hold myself back from being all petty back at them and stuff like that, and just being like, well, if you did it, stuff like that, if you would have X and Y, then you would have got this. But it's we have to tame that. I have to tame that part. I can't just let it go, because that's not going to cause anything else, or it's not going to cause anything fruitful or good. It's just going to cause more drama, and then just more broken relationships, or just a bad look on you or the company or your brand or your persona or whatever it may be for you, uh, your personality, whatever it is, you as a person, uh, I it's hard. It's really hard to hold back and just kind of bearing grin it per se. So what's been helping me is to remember that quote that you have no enemies, not a single one, because we're all just trying to get by. And really, I think, this is my opinion. I'm only 23 years old. I think that a big part of why we have so many disagreements and just violence and hatred between each other is a lack of communication, pride, because we like to feel right because it feels good. Lack of communication, pride, and yeah, I think those are the main two things, because there's some things that we say that just don't get across how we may mean it, especially over text sometimes as well. Or not sometimes, most times. Because sometimes I'll be getting a text from someone and I think it's the most out of pocket thing. But until I actually sit back and look at it objectively and actually go into it with a curious mindset of what did they mean by that, then it's not as bad as I thought it would, or it's not as bad as I thought it was. And something that has been helping me too, to something that's been helping me to not jump the gun and come to conclusions whenever I receive a message or a text or someone says something to me that just sounds wild. I'll approach it with a curious mindset, because I heard from somewhere, it's either from the Ed Milet show or the Basement with Tim Ross podcast, where they said that you can't be curious and furious at the same time. Because if you're going into it with a curious mindset of, okay, why did you say it like that? Why did you, or not say it like that, but what did you mean by that? And kind of ask them to break it down, what they meant by that, then it will cause way less disagreements or confusion. This is in my experience, of course. It will cause way less drama than there needs to be. And no one will get mad. I mean, hopefully not. In my experiences, when I have just been more curious and just, instead of jumping the gun and assuming that this person meant this, then there really is less drama. There's less confusion. There's less misunderstanding. And going back to what I said, it really just all comes down to how we communicate, and just to make sure that we're clear when we communicate. That's why I kind of just asking questions about what did you mean by this, or can you explain further? And not being so full of ourselves, thinking that we know it all. So just having clearer communication and not assuming, to not having that pride to assume, and not having that pride to make yourself feel good that you think you know it all. Just dropping your pride and having clear communication help remind me that I have no enemies. Yeah, I just wanted to share that. That's what's been on my mind. I have no enemies. You have no enemies. And I'm kind of bad at send-offs. So, what is something that I don't know. I'm just gonna say I hope that you can approach conversations that might seem a little wild or out of pocket to you, but to approach it with an objective mindset, don't be so prideful. Don't assume that you know everything, because you don't know everything. People are so complex. You you can only know so much until you ask why. Just ask them what they meant by that, and just drop your pride. Have questions to ask them, because like I said, we're all complex human beings. We don't know what we're doing most of the time. So to avoid all that drama and pettiness and strife and disagreements, or okay, I'm just gonna backtrack. You can't necessarily avoid disagreements, because disagreements are bound to happen. But to avoid any explosions, let's say, just ask a question. Just remember that they're a human being just like you are. They have their own complexities. Just drop the pride and have clear communication. So yeah, so I encourage you to do that. That's something that I've been learning to do, trying to hold back the beast of pride and assumption, and to just be mindful that everyone's a human being. Yeah, hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Peace out, and hope you enjoy the solo pod. Peace out, y'all.